and of course, hello. My name is Madamix and welcome to another challenge tips and tricks video. Today we are discussing the SMG headshots. I know it's been a while since I've done one of the headshot videos. I thought it's about time since I'm sort of between challenges at the moment and I'm trying to work out which one to cover next. So, with that said, let's start off by talking about the weapon that I'm actually using here because I wanted to showcase it and it's something that a lot of people might be interested in hearing my opinion on. I doubt it since I've only got a few subscribers, but they might be interested in knowing what I personally think of the HG40 SMG. To be honest, I don't like it very much. I believe it's the worst SMG in the game, simply because of the fire rate makes it shoots at the same speed as the Man of War, and an SMG shooting at that speed is not good. Let's face it, the SMG should be shooting at least twice that speed, but that said, there's nothing I can do about it. But one cool feature, if you do get it up to the where you can add the kill count up, it is in an amazing spot right on the back of the gun now, making it very visible for you to see the amount of kills you racked up on that particular gun. So that's one benefit to it. Now with that all said, enjoy the gameplay with it while I talk about SMG headshots. Yes, SMG headshots. Now, to be honest, there's not a great deal I can cover for SMG headshots. It's one of those few weapons where there's nothing particularly special that you can do to enhance the amount of headshots you can get, whereas these pistols, the assault rifles, and even the shotguns, there are a couple of special unique things to them, whereas the SMGs are fairly rigid in what you can achieve with them. So with that said, let's start by covering, of course, the usual of concussion grenades and heat waves. Fabric's heat wave ability. Yes, of course, I'm not running concussion grenades here because I've gone very attachment happy on the HG40 because I just feel it makes it much easier for me to use. Otherwise I would have been running concussion grenades, and that first gunfight there where I died, if I'd have been running the concussion grenades, I would have easily possibly got the headshot on that last dude as well. But that's neither here nor there. But I do make brilliant use of the heat wave ability instead, and I do suggest if you don't run your concussion grenades, you always run heat wave when going for your headshots because it will make it so much easier, and I do some brilliant use of it in this particular gameplay. Now, next up, game mode. Of course, hardcore is your friend when going for headshots, and SMGs, it is one of those where it is particularly noticeable how much of a difference it will make, since you do not get any chance of one-shot headshots in core, whereas you can with some of the assault rifles, and of course with the shotguns. It's fairly easy to get the headshots even in core using the high caliber attachment and pistols as well, but the SMGs you don't get any benefit like that. But hardcore does allow you to get one-shot headshots at quite a long range. Here I am using brilliant use of the heat wave, so like I say, just wanted to point out quickly. But yeah, hardcore can make getting headshots fairly easy with the SMG at quite a decent range, so if you feel comfortable going for them in hardcore, do so. You will be surprised at how much easier it is to achieve your headshots in hardcore compared to core, especially with the SMGs. Now, weapon strength is the next point I wanted to talk about. Each of the SMGs generally has a unique thing that it specialises in. The Vespa, for example, has a ridiculously fast fire rate, but you won't be wanting to engage people at very long ranges with that because of the sheer kick on that gun. You'll almost never get any long shot headshots in core or hardcore with that weapon. So you do want to play close, whereas with something like the Racerback or Weevil, which do have a fairly good long range kill speed and accuracy is very high on both of them. You can use these two particular weapons at much longer ranges, so bear in mind which weapon you're using when going for your headshots, and try to play to this particular strengths of those weapons when doing so. Now, So you will want to fiddle around with them and play with your weapons and try to figure out where the best ranges are for you to get your headshots. So don't worry about experimenting to find which ranges give you the best chances of getting your headshots. Now, the general rule of thumb though is you do want to be playing all SMGs, especially when going for the headshots, at either close or mid range. You never really want to be tackling the longest ranges, as you will probably most likely lose out to assault rifle users or snipers at those ranges, and especially LMGs. So try to keep it closer to mid ranges where you can get the most out of most of the SMGs. Now, another useful tactic, which I normally would not recommend, and I won't recommend for anything other than, of course, the shotgun and SMGs, and that's hip firing. Because the SMGs have a much better hip fire spread than other guns, you should not be afraid to hip fire with them. Quick drink of coffee there. Hip firing with the SMGs is a viable option. I'm not doing it with the HG40 though. It can work, but due to the slow fire rate of the HG40, it doesn't really benefit me to hip fire with it. Whereas something like the Vespa or the VMP, which have a very high fire rate and of course a good hip fire spread, it can be very beneficial to just spray and spray with those particular weapons and get your headshots that way. Now, of course, there are a few attachments to choose from. You can mix and match, and of course, since I mentioned hip firing, I will quickly mention you can run the laser sight to try and tighten that hip fire up even more, and of course run gung ho, so you can even do this while on the go. It is a completely viable option and something you should not overlook. So just bear that in mind as one particular attachment and the perk combination you can run to maximise the chances of you taking advantage of the hip firing. Of course, I'm running 4 attachments on this. The sight, of course, is optional and something you should run only if you feel comfortable running it. If you're perfectly fine with an eye sight, feel free to drop the red dot sight or ELO, whatever sight you're running, and use the iron sights. It's not. This is one of the few weapons where the sights, since you will be doing close and medium range, you will be aiming down sights, but the iron sights are not going to be too hindering at those ranges. Whereas with the assault rifles and that, it can be hindering not to have a sight to help you. Now, of course, the other attachments I'm using is, of course, the stock. As you can see here, I'm strafing fairly quickly, and I do actually almost use the stock as a crutch on this crutch attachment on SMGs. I find it to be very, very useful to be able to strafe while shooting them, just because of the way SMGs work. They've got a fairly good fire rate, and strafing while keeping yourself on target can pay off a great deal with your SMGs. So try running a stock, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. However, the other 2 attachments I'm running are something that I do highly suggest trying. The first one, of course, is one of the most useful attachments when going for your headshots with SMGs, and that is the grip. Because of the way the sheer kick of the SMGs, because of their fire rate, a grip can make getting your headshots much easier and make you far more accurate at longer ranges. So do try to use a grip when going for your headshots with SMGs. You will be surprised at how much easier it makes it for you. Of course, the other attachment I'm running is, of course, quick draw. And now, if you run quick draw, do try to make sure you are running it alongside fast hands perk. For some reason, if you were running quick draw with that, you will see almost no benefit. But if you run it with quick draw and fast hands, you will be surprised at how quickly you can get your gun up when you're coming out of a sprint. So I do highly suggest, if you do run quick draw, you run fast hands as well, and you'll be surprised at how effective this can be for getting your gun up. And some of the gunfights I win here are simply just because I'm using those 2 particular attachments. That attachment and perk. Now, one other method, and one which can be fairly useful, is of course camping. as you can see here, I am camping, and while I'm doing it the ridiculously long shots, it can be a very useful tactic to achieve your headshots. So don't be afraid to camp in order to get them. Of course, that's everything covered for your headshots, and hopefully this will help you achieve them a little bit easier. This has been Invalid Mix. Take care, good luck, and have fun.